This movie aims to weave a chilling tapestry of generational trauma and Ireland's fraught history with the Catholic Church. While its thematic ambitions and cultural specificity are admirable, the film falters as a horror experience, delivering a repetitive, uninspired narrative that fails to capitalize on its eerie potential. Despite strong performances and moments of striking imagery, this movie feels like a missed opportunity, overshadowed by its own lack of focus and inability to terrify. The story centers on Shu, a care worker grappling with her estranged mother's suicide, who is sent to a remote Irish village to tend to Peadar, an agoraphobic elderly woman obsessed with warding off sinister entities she calls they. The film opens with a haunting 1973 prologue, Pead's mysterious disappearance on her wedding night, and a promising exploration of Ireland's dark past, including the Magdalene laundries and the church's oppressive legacy. However, what follows is a sluggish, predictable haunted house tale that leans heavily on familiar tropes without adding fresh scares or atmosphere. The movie's script is at its best when unpacking the shared trauma of Shu and Peadar, with both actresses delivering compelling performances that anchor the film's emotional core. Their evolving bond, fraught with tension and vulnerability, carries the weight of Ireland's history of female suffering. Yet the horror elements, like the creaky floorboards, a foreboding red cellar door, and vague references to the supernatural being, feel derivative and underdeveloped. The film's slow-burn approach lacks the creeping dread needed to sustain tension, and its reliance on loud sound cues and cheap jump scares feels like a desperate bid to compensate for a lack of genuine menace. Visually, the movie is inconsistent. While the rural Irish setting and Pead's decaying history-soaked house offer potential for claustrophobic terror, the movie's tight framing often ignores the environment's inherent spookiness, leaving the film feeling visually constrained. The cinematography, though occasionally striking, doesn't match the vivid color grading typical of UK horror. And the production design, while rich with religious and folkloric symbols, fails to create a cohesive sense of dread. Thematically, the film bites off more than it can chew. It attempts to juggle motherhood, mental illness, and Ireland's cultural wounds, but the narrative becomes convoluted, with too many ideas competing for attention. The climax, meant to tie together the film's folkloric and historical threads, collapses into a muddled parade of symbols that feels pretentious rather than profound. A potentially powerful ending is undermined by an unnecessary mid-credit scene that drags the story past its natural conclusion, diluting its impact. This movie is not without merit. Its use of Irish Gaelic adds authenticity, and the sound design, particularly the eerie silences of the rural setting, creates fleeting moments of unease. But these strengths can't overcome a script that repeats itself, a horror framework that feels recycled, and a pacing that drags, despite a modest 103-minute runtime. Compared to other Irish horror films like You Are Not My Mother, which masterfully blends folklore and emotional depth, this movie lacks the originality and atmospheric heft to stand out in the genre. It's not worth to watch this in theaters. Just wait on your streaming service.